Good shit, 31. You busted his ass. Wait, what? Yo, it ain't no big deal. I got you, bro. Miami buys all of us, and that NIL check just hit. I got plenty of bread, bro. Hey, just call him over here. Hey, how much you need? The previous play is under review for targeting. Correction. After an extended in-depth review, there is obviously no targeting on the play. Yo, ref, are you blind or something? I just got held that entire play, bro. What do you want me to do about it? What's going on, Canes fans? Man, it feels good to have Miami Hurricanes football back this week. Now, I'm not going to lie, I personally needed the mental break after back-to-back close games. I didn't know if my heart could take it again last week. But at the end of the day, the Miami Hurricanes are sitting at 6-0, and I'm ready to watch them take on this Louisville team. And speaking of Louisville, this is a team that entered the 2024 season ranked at number 22 and even made it as high as number 15 before losing 2 in a row. Notre Dame 31-24 and SMU 34-27 before bouncing back last week against Virginia, getting back in the win column with a close one, 24-20. But I do want to say, don't let those two losses fool you. Both of them were only by 7 points, and this will easily be the most explosive offense that Miami has seen so far this season. They're led by transfer quarterback Tyler Shuck, who's actually been playing college football for 7 years. And believe it or not, he actually played under Mario Cristobal at Oregon back in 2020, the COVID season. So basically what I'm saying here is this guy has been playing football for a little bit. And now that he's joined forces with Louisville head coach Jeff Brom, who is absolutely an elite play caller, he's putting up bigger numbers than ever before. Now, they're not quite Cam Ward level numbers, but 1,674 yards, 14 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. I think those are definitely big boy numbers. Now, he's not very mobile, but you do still have to respect it because he can run if needed, but he's definitely not a dual threat guy. He's more of a pocket passer, and his completion percentage takes a massive dip when under pressure. I'm talking 45.8%, but luckily for him, Louisville does have a pretty solid O-line. Plus, Jeff Brom loves to run some play action, and Shuck shines when running it, throwing for 864 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions out of that play action. That's something that Miami fans are going to see a lot of on Saturday. So I think you can see what kind of picture that I'm trying to paint here going into this game. Ward versus Shuck, the battle of the two high-powered offenses. This is a game where last year in 2023, Miami got out-coached. The Canes were able to hang, but Brom is a pretty smart guy. Will the story be different, however, in 2024? Now, speaking on the Canes for just a moment, Miami is coming off of a bye week, which would make most other fan bases happy. I mean, that's an extra week to prepare. It's an extra week to get healthy. But there's one small problem. Miami fans have a bit of PTSD when it comes to bye weeks. Miami fans have a lot of PTSD when it comes to many things, but definitely bye weeks because the team has yet to win a game coming off of a bye week under Mario Cristobal. Heck, honestly, the last time they did was under head coach Mark Richt.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
A bit of good news is that Mario Cristobal said earlier this week that left tackle Jalen Rivers should be back, which will be a big boost for the O-line. Now, just keep in mind, again, this coaching staff is very weird about injuries. They don't discuss it very much, and there were multiple weeks where he said Bain would be ready, and he didn't play. I believe he said Rivers would probably be a go last week, and he still didn't play. But the word is, as of right now, that Jalen Rivers should be 100% and ready to go. And when we talk about high-powered offenses here, and we'll talk some more numbers when it comes to Louisville as well just in a bit, let me just give you a couple of numbers, because for Miami, they're still first in the country in points per game, yards per game, plays of at least 20 yards, and third down conversion rate. Let me tell you something, Canes fans. That puts a big smile on my face. What doesn't put a big smile on my face is the fact that Miami continues to give up big, explosive plays, and it's put this team in a pretty bad position on back-to-back games. But I will say that given the numbers that the offense has been putting up, you can never count out this Miami team. And I learned my lesson in that Cal game, being down 25, and they were able to fight and claw their way back and get a win. But let's take a quick look at the history between these two teams. Miami and Louisville have played 16 times in total, with Miami leading the series 11-4. Now, there was a tie back in 1950, and the most recent matchup was just last year, and the Cardinals won that game 38-31. And now just some average stats so far this season for both teams, and just keep in mind that I round these numbers up or down respectively. So coming into this matchup, Louisville average points per game coming in at 36, Miami at 48. Points allowed against them, Louisville 20, Miami 19. Yards gained per game, Louisville 462, Miami a whopping 584. And yards allowed against them, the Cardinals 336 and Miami 283. I will also give you 3 keys to a victory for each team. And let's go ahead and kick it off with the Miami Hurricanes. Coming in at number 1, and I'm sure this is a big shocker, but try to limit the explosive plays. I understand how obvious this is. I know that everyone is talking about it. I know it's beating a dead horse, but it's too important to not put it down as a key, because, again, we're talking about a Louisville offense that's very explosive. And overall, let's be honest, Miami's defense has been pretty great, but that's a sore spot for sure. And all of our future opponents know this. Quarterback Tyler Shough is a veteran playing in a QB-friendly system surrounded by high-level skill players. That could be a recipe for disaster for Miami's defense. Number 2, keep the third downs manageable. I mentioned earlier that Miami leads the country in third down conversions, but Louisville's strength on defense is stopping opponents on third downs, only allowing them to convert 27% of their opportunities. This ranks 7th in the nation. And lastly, score at least 30 points. Miami has surpassed this number in every single game so far this season, but I noticed that Notre Dame and SMU are Louisville's only 2 losses, and both of them scored 30+. No other teams could hit that mark. Next up is 3 keys to a Louisville victory, and coming in at number 1, what do you know? Another shocker. Attack deep down the field. Miami has to prove that they can limit the explosive plays, so take some shots early on to get a feel for things. And that's kind of the key there, is not just taking shots, but doing it early to kind of feel out this Miami defense. Tyler Shough is definitely capable, but he's mostly shined in the intermediate passing game. Number 2, keep quarterback Tyler Shough upright. With a clean pocket, his completion percentage jumps up to a massive 71.5%. 2 of his 3 picks occurred when he was under pressure. And don't forget that Cardinals lost their starting left tackle, Monroe Mills, in the SMU game, so that could absolutely be a factor. And lastly, Louisville needs to create more havoc up front on defense. Disrupt the play a little bit and create issues for Cam Ward. This is a Louisville D-line that is 115th in sack rate, so there's got to be more chaos up front, because if you let Cam Ward sit back there and pick you apart, it's going to be a problem. And Cam Ward is a pass-first quarterback. He can beat you with his legs if he need to, but he's looking downfield. All right, let's do this. My pick and score prediction for this game. But first, let's actually kick it over to my dog Max and get his pick. All right, here we go. It's time for Max's official pick. And this week, he goes with the Canes, beating Louisville at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium. Let's go, my boy. So as you can see here, I am currently 6-0 with my picks so far this season, and Max is sitting at 4-2 with his. But I got to give him a little bit of credit, all right, because this is his first season predicting games. I don't think he's doing that bad so far. Now, before I really do give my pick and score prediction, I always like to take a quick look at the ESPN matchup predictor, which gives Miami a 55.4% chance of winning this game, and Louisville comes in at 44.6. Now, taking a quick look at FanDuel as well, they have Miami listed as a 4.5-point favorite, with the over-under coming in at 61.5. So they also believe that quite a few points are going to be scored in this game. Do I believe that Miami can overcome the bye week curse? And it's funny because even though we call it a curse, which I don't believe in, like curses and jinxes and all that stuff, the reality is Miami has absolutely struggled coming off of bye weeks. That's not something that's silly. That's something that's reality, right? They have. But do we believe that this year is actually different? Is the team going to be mentally and physically prepared for this game? Because I don't think physically will be a problem, but mentally, are they ready? And this is an away game. I'm going to give Miami 38. Louisville fans are not going to like this. I'm just going to let you know real quick. And I'm going to give Louisville 31. So that is another 7-point loss for Louisville. So their 3 losses on the season would all 3 be by 7 points, which I know would really frustrate Cardinal fans. But I do expect fireworks on offense from both sides. Louisville does have some closing thoughts here. Louisville has a tight end by the name of Johnson, who's yet to drop a catchable ball. And let's not forget that they have an Alabama transfer wide receiver, Ja'Cory Brooks, who's caught 6 touchdowns so far this season, which is second best in the ACC. He will by far be the best wide receiver that Miami has faced so far, and he's a big-time deep threat. What I really find most interesting about this game, and what I want to see with how Dawson approaches this, when you look at Louisville's last 3 games, Virginia's quarterback ran for 84 yards. SMU's quarterback ran for 113. Notre Dame's quarterback ran for 52. You want to know what's interesting about that? All 3 quarterbacks in those games were the leading rushers. So running quarterbacks appears to be Louisville's kryptonite. It's something that they struggle heavily with. But again, as Miami fans, we know that Cam Ward is a pass-first quarterback, but he can absolutely extend plays and beat you with his legs if he needs to. So does Dawson lean into the run game with Cam Ward for this one, or does he kind of feel it out and see how things go? It's going to be very interesting to watch, but keep that in the back of your mind when watching this game, that is something that once the competition stepped up for Louisville as well, they struggled to stop quarterbacks from running the ball. And Louisville has a couple of former Miami Hurricanes. They have running back Don Chaney Jr. He doesn't receive the bulk of the carries, but he's received the second most, I believe, on the team. And we may not see him a lot in this game, but they do have tight end Jaleel Skinner, So they did pick up several transfer players from Miami, and they're a transfer portal heavy team, just like they were in 2023. And I just did some quick math in my head here. I think this adds up to a total of 69 points.
Nice.
So I'm definitely really confident in my score prediction now. Miami beating Louisville by 7 points, which will be a heartbreaker for them, and the grand total adds up to 69 points. I mean, it's a win-win across the board here. So let me know your thoughts on my score prediction and just on this game in general. I'm so pumped and excited for it. This should be a really fun game to watch for both sides, and it should be a very entertaining Saturday. So let me know your thoughts in the comments once again. Remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Yeah, Coach, I'm all right. They're going to get a penalty for targeting, though, right?
What do you want me to do about it?